I said 30 members.
Are we sticking to that forevermore now?
We're sticking to 30. If we get 30 members or 30 gifted members or 10 gifted members, 20 members or whatever on a stream, I'll do the intro for the next week. Maybe 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes, but need more members.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Saints Network podcast, your place for all things Southampton Football Club, your weekly hour dose of Saints-based therapy. Actually, we don't even really need the therapy at the moment, which is quite nice. So obviously this last week sees the lights are in slightly different positions. It's creating a weird shadow and I don't like it, but I now can't be bothered to get up and change it. Sorry, if you're listening, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. This week saw Saints have 2 more games in the English Championship. Wednesday we welcomed Norwich to St Mary's, and then yesterday was Oxford United. So 2 games. And we kind of said quite categorically before we went off air last week that we kind of need 2 wins. And what was more important, in fact, was the fact that in the midweek, Wrexham slipped up and didn't secure 3 points. So it was even more important for us to beat Norwich. Wrexham got beat on Tuesday, was that right?
Away at Watford 3-1.
That's the one, yeah. So we were. I went to the St Mary's on Wednesday, apprehensive and nervous, and kind of excited at the same time. Now. We'll jump into both games. We'll cover both of those games. If you haven't already, though, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live in the future. They're all free. Every single one of them's free. There's 70 plus people in chat. 15 likes. It's free. Costs you nothing. Right? It really helps us. So please, can you smash those buttons for us? That'd be amazing. Furthermore, if you want to support the show, if you want to support the podcast, you probably notice some people in chat on YouTube are, in fact, green. That's because those people are members. We like those people the most. Ash loves a member. So if you want to become a member of the channel, please make sure you smash that little $sign in the corner. Become a member. Get yourself green. If you're already green and you still want to support us, you can gift memberships to other people. You can gift 1, 5, 10, 20, or 50 if you were that way inclined. And finally, you can also do a thing that YouTube calls a super chat, which is a horrible name. But that's what when you stick a load of text on a big colourful postcard and send it in to us.
We like those.
We read all of them. We respond to every single one of them. So there we go. Right? Yeah. Or you could have some blue cheese in chat.
Better than blue waffle.
Facts. So Wednesday, Norwich came to town. Norwich came to town. And I was a bit nervous because they've kind of been in form as well. They've been playing quite well.
Most informed team in the division before they came to town.
At the time, yeah. So we already knew that Watford had beat Wrexham.
We did.
Because that happened the day before. So we were a bit nervous. The lineup was, I think, not what I expected. But I think more what you expected.
I think it's more what I expected because there's a lot of people when you watch your other content creators from your Football Martins to Jimmy, for example, everyone was kind of trying to guess what the lineup would be after the game at Coventry when we basically played 4-1-4-1.
Yeah.
Obviously, Norwich being the form team in the division, I think we all pretty knew that Sienza wasn't going to make it. So were we going to stick with the same? Were we going to bring a Dozy in? Were we going to bring Fellows in?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to carry on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cracking.
I forgot what the lineup was. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's great. I'm glad you do.
I remember what the back 5 is.
So obviously the back 5 said the same. We kept Castellander in.
Yes.
Cameron Bragg dropped out, stayed with Flynn Downs. We kept Finn Azaz in. Carl Laren stayed in. Madski stayed in, and we brought in Sam Adozi, which I was quite happy about because I think he'd earned the right to have a bit of a start. To be fair, Norwich obviously plagued by injuries at the moment. 14, I think it was. Injuries that they currently have, so it's never obviously ideal from that perspective. But again, they were the informed team in the division, and I think we kind of saw why.
Yeah, they played some nice football.
They were dirty bastards.
They played some nice football.
They were still dirty bastards.
I mean, yeah, they were a bit bullish. I'll be honest.
They were more than a bit bullish. They were dirty bastards.
And there was definitely, I think, in the first half specifically. There was definitely a couple of occasions where a couple of players probably should have got booked and the referee was quite lenient.
How Paris Magoma came out of that game without getting a yellow card, I do not know, let alone a red card. I think Philip Clement's gone in and he's got them flying. And actually, interestingly, they lost to us, but then went and won at Charlton yesterday. Oh no, Nathan Jones lost another game. They are still, they're not, are they going to make it? Probably not. But they are still potentially in with a shout of the playoffs. So they're sort of sitting there or thereabouts. If they'd have beaten us, probably would have been their 10th. 7 points off. They're going to need to win 6 out of 7 and pray if they're going to make the playoffs now. But the way we have been, it was important for us to turn up and put performance in. Obviously, arguments would be whether we did or not, but we'll get into that.
I mean, so performance-wise, I've seen a lot of criticism about the performance. Actually, I've seen a lot of criticism about the performances, but ultimately we got 6 fucking points.
I have a theory, which I'll get onto when we finish.
So the Norwich game, right? It was, Ash says it was a bit rough, a bit ready, a bit brutal, a bit kicky, but ultimately we created a couple of little chances, and then relatively early on, about halfway through the first half, Finn Azaz got a goal.
He did, yeah. I think Finn Azaz has been a player who in the last few weeks has kind of seen himself a bit reborn. Obviously, he scored against QPR a couple of weeks ago, had a fantastic performance. I think they all had a fantastic performance away at Fulham. The goal was simple. It was route one to a degree. James Free takes a throw in, Carl Laren flicks it on. He knocks it on with his thigh, runs in and puts it past the keeper. And the game had been quite flat at the start, but we'd been okay. But obviously it had also not been helped by the fact that Norwich were literally kicking us around the park.
They were.
There was a penalty decision in the first half, which was turned down. At the time, I did what I always do and turned to our dad, and Dad went, "It's not a penalty." And I didn't think it was either. And having watched it back, I was like, I don't understand how he's not given that as a penalty.
Yeah.
But the referee on Wednesday night, I've got to keep remembering it's Wednesday night. The referee on Wednesday night, shall we say, leaves a lot to be desired.
He wasn't a good referee.
He was not the best referee, no.
And he was really desperate for Norwich to get some points, hence the 87 minutes of extra time.
Yes, 87 minutes. I think we ended up playing just short of 100. Now, I get it, because Peretz went down with the shithouse 3 that goalkeepers do. But by my count on my watch, that was 40 seconds worth, and he added on an extra 2.5 minutes.
So it's one of those occasions recently as well. We're in the second half chat, so we go in 1-0 up at half time. Cool. Let's get out the gates in the second half, get an early second goal, start to relax ourselves a little bit. That never really happened, and I would go as far as to say that for me it was a very nervy second half. And Ash has said a player reborn recently is Finn Azaz. Another player who's been exceptional recently, I don't know about reborn, but when you think about the fact that he made some errors when he first started because he hadn't been playing football very much, and now what he's doing for us, Peretz and his ability to keep things out of that net is quite impressive.
So Cam's in the live tonight, evening Cam. Cam is nicknamed Peretz the Iron Dome, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And look, the saves that he made on Wednesday night, having watched them back, none of them were Coventry-esque. They weren't spectacular. They weren't absolutely phenomenal saves that he shouldn't be making. But what he did was he turned up and he did his job. And I agree with everyone that has said the same thing following the game, is that if we had a Bazuna or a McCarthy in goal, I think we'd probably lose the game because they wouldn't have made the save to a degree. It's the double one that he makes where he pushes one to the side, realises he's not pushed it wide enough, gets up and throws himself in the way of it. The one in the last minute, again, it's just simple. He kind of, I said it on the when I posted that show tonight. We're talking, not only are we talking 2 wins, but we're talking 2 clean sheets.
We're also, talking about Daniel Peretz, we have come from an era of kind of expecting more to go in than to be saved. I mean, Bazunu was quite literally bottom of the form chart for goalkeepers in the Championship.
And Peretz is now the top.
And Peretz is top. So that has been a monumental change. That and the fact that he'll come for crosses, that he shouts and commands his back four. But there was a couple of stops he did make against Norwich. I agree. They weren't as world class as the stop he made against Coventry, but they're still at the right point, at the right time, good solid saves. And we're not doing this stupid thing where we spill the ball out in front of an oncoming striker and he slots it out. Like, we're not doing that. He's making saves. It was a tentative and nervous second half. It was made more nervous by the fact that the referee did decide to play about 9 minutes of stoppage time. Part of that, like Ash says, is because Peretz did do a bit of shithousery. He did go down in the box and hold his something.
But we're here for it.
Well, we don't normally do it, so fuck him. It's our turn.
We're here for it.
Ultimately, though, although nervous, although scrappy, we come away with a 1-0 win against Norwich. Did you do a members' man of the match for that one?
I did. Look, I think that the second half was tough. Obviously, we had a couple of chances. Laren had one that was saved. Shea Charles had a beautiful one where he hits it from range, and you don't score many Shea Charles, does he? And the keeper saved it. Norwich obviously had their opportunities. We gave it a win. Look, the man of the match was the no-brainer. Everyone voted for the same person, and obviously Daniel Peretz has been a revelation since coming in, and I think that is where we discussed it briefly yesterday. That the anti-Sport Republic chants and all that sort of stuff have kind of gone quiet because obviously we're on the Sporting game unbeaten streak. Football fans are fickle. We know it is, etc., etc.
So the 14-game unbeaten streak that we've now got because of yesterday is equaling this season's championship record.
It is, yes. And look, like I said, we're just Mark. I've seen your question: is the break beneficial or not? I will answer that, but I'm going to do that at the end of the Oxford game because I think there's a point there. The way I would describe Wednesday night was, I said in our Discord, guys, if you're not watching, get in the Discord. It's free. Link below. All that stuff. I say it every week. We had to win on Wednesday night. No matter the case. It didn't matter whether we...
Well, so the previous week, Wrexham dropped points. We didn't capitalise.
No.
They dropped points again. You can't not capitalise.
Yeah, and I was worried because every now and then we seem to put in one of these when we have like it's not a 3-game week. When you say like a Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of the games we always look leggy and a bit crappy. And obviously we put so much effort in at Coventry. I was really worried about Norwich. Professionalism from the performance is probably exactly where I'd put us from that aspect. And regardless of what happened, and I said it didn't matter how we won on Wednesday, we just needed to win. We're at that point now. We're in the business end of the season. There's 7 league games left. It doesn't matter how we get them. The points, we just need to get the fucking points.
Well, there's a big game coming up after said break, isn't there? But talking about needing points and getting points, that win got us to 6th place. So we're level on points with Wrexham, but we have got a significantly better goal difference. So that got us into the playoffs. Finally, we're there. Finally, we're in the playoff places. In fact, going into yesterday's game, not only were we in the playoff places, we were top of the form table. We were number 1 on the form charts, but we were playing Oxford yesterday, who were interestingly number 6th in the form charts at that point as well. A lot of people that I had spoken to had said, no, Oxford will thrash them. Bottom of the league will thrash them. We're so much better. I'm like, been a Saints fan for a very long time. It's very Saints to beat Coventry, who are top of the league and top of form, and then lose to fucking Oxford. It's very Saints to do that. And secondly, it's football, isn't it? You never say never. You've got a team who are arguably still fighting for promotion, still possible for, not promotion, sorry, for staying in the league. It's still possible for Oxford to get out of trouble. It is possible, right?
Oxford had come down having won 3 and drawn 1. So they'd taken 10 points from 15 in the last 5. I'll get Oxford out of the way. I was disappointed with Oxford yesterday.
Okay.
I thought they'd offer more. I thought they'd be...
I thought we were no higher than second gear for the whole game.
Agreed.
I thought, and I'm sorry, Oxford fans, I thought they were fucking wank.
And I thought that when we went 1-0 up, when we went 2-0 up, and we'll cover that properly in a minute, I thought we potentially looked at... They would have waited until at least the sort of 60-minute mark and then gone for it. But apart from the chance that they had in the second half, they didn't do anything.
So Oxford came. We did make some changes to our lineup. Matsky goes out of the lineup. Tom Fellows comes in. Interestingly, Caspiander goes out. Shea Charles comes in. And then there's another change, isn't there? Adozie goes out. And in comes...
Cameron
Archer.
Ian's best friend.
And, Cam Archer is apparently a professional footballer because he gets paid to play football. But I don't know what's happened to him. Because when he joined us, he had shown signs of being quite good, quite competent, scored a couple of nice goals. At previous clubs, he's done quite well, in this league specifically, right? He seems to have lost the ability to play football.
If I was a betting man, I would say that the next club that he goes to, he'll start scoring goals again. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Look, I think he's been really, really poor. He has been really poor. I think he probably knows that himself. And I don't want to sit here, and I know we can have laughs and jokes. I don't want to sit here and call him all the names under the sun because he even yesterday, he just wasn't good enough. He still tried. You can still see him trying. He just wasn't up to level. And it doesn't... Yesterday, especially for the first half, it looked like we were playing 10 players and then him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to knock him too much. He's trying hard.
Well, he also we'll get onto it as well, but he also had the beautiful assist.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So what's the change the lineup? The back five is the same. Again, I think Wellington still isn't quite there. Leo didn't make the bench. Ross Stewart did make the bench. We also had Olokunye. Is that how I say it?
Olokunle.
Thank you. On the bench. Matsky's on the bench, etc. So we had a lot of attacking options, and I quite liked it. What I thought was going to happen was I thought Oxford were going to sit super deep, the old famous part of the bus low block, whatever you want to call it nowadays. I thought they would invite pressure, wear us out, tire us down, and then go at us in the second half. And I think that, maybe I'm wrong here, but I think that Tonda maybe kind of thought the same, and that's why he kept the legs of Adozie, Matsky, stuff on the bench. So we had attacking options coming off the bench. So that when they open the game up a little bit so they can get some points. Because Oxford needed a win, really, let's be honest, then we can counter. I think that's what he was doing. Looking at the lineup, it was a bit weird because I honestly think that he was sort of playing a bit of a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield. I don't think he was really playing wide men. I think he was playing Archer sat off of Laren's shoulder. I think he was playing Finn in the pocket as like a bit of a false 9/10 position. I think he had Shay Charles sort of tucked in on one wing and then Fellows pushed a little bit further out on the other wing. And then we had Flynn Downs playing a holding role. Flynn Downs, by the way, actually, I'll do that in a minute. And I think actually what we watched was the lineup was a bit flexible. People kept moving around, and I quite liked it. Anyway, we got a very early goal, very very early goal, which was it's almost like that Route 1 football. So people have criticised Taylor Howard-Bellis on occasion for giving the ball away with some of the passes that he's made. But it's because he can do things like this, right? He threaded a through ball that Fellows ran onto that was beautiful. I think we're starting to see glimmers of why we signed Taylor again, because we signed him for a reason. Some of the passing that he's doing at the moment, some of the balls he's putting through, people to run onto, are stunning passes. And he does. He feeds it through. It's behind the wing back. Fellows comes onto it, crosses it in low. Laren's on the end of it straight away, tucks it in the corner. Beautiful. Job done. It's real striker's goal as well, real poacher's finish.
I think Matt Bloomfield will be especially disappointed that the line was so high.
Yeah, I think so, but I also think that that's the kind of goal that we don't score enough of. Ball down the channel, winger comes in, smashes it across the goal mouth, striker tickles it in. In the past...
Did it at Stoke a few months ago.
I know, but we haven't done enough. Like in the past, Fellows wouldn't have been on his bike, or he'll put the crossing in, there's no striker attacking the near post. And we've seen there's little things like this that are starting to click, which is happening at just the right time, thankfully. There you go, 1-0. And I said straight away, I was like, actually, I'm glad, because it should open the game up a little bit. Oxford can't really sit on it anymore. And I think it was you that was like, they'll still sit on it.
There was, you could say that game plan, they were going to sit on it until the 67th minute. You said they needed to win. I think they would have been happy with it. I think they came for a point.
Did you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Well, thankfully for us, it wasn't too much longer before we saw the second Saints goal. In fact, it was 2 and done in under 20 minutes. Because on the 17th minute, 18th minute, something like that.
13th.
We got a corner kick, which was another nice piece of play, and then Manning goes to volley a cross back in. It hits one of the Oxford players and goes out for a corner. And then we did the thing that I hate. I'll hold my hands up. I fucking hate short corners. I fucking hate short corners. I can't stand them. We took a short corner. And the ball gets on the byline to Cameron Archer, and I'm like, well, I don't know what he's going to do here. And he does what can only be described as possibly one of the shittest passes of his career. Because there is I don't care what anyone says, chat. There is no fucking way that pass was for Shay Charles. No way.
No
Not a chance.
It's for Fellows. He's on the edge of the box, and you see Fellows run, and he stops. And they even interviewed Shay Charles about it, and he said, I wasn't supposed to get it. I just did it.
Yeah. Well, Fellows goes to run, and when he sees the ball behind him, he kind of stumbles like he's sad enough. Fucking Archer looks like, oh, fuck, I fucked the pass up. The ball kind of dribbles out. No one makes it. No one from Oxford really goes for it. Shay Charles runs onto it. And I think at this point, Saints fans are like, cool, he'll pass it sideways, it'll come back, and we'll start building up again. And he just swung his boot through it. And what a fucking strike it was. So from about 35 yards out...
I would say about 30, yeah.
He bends it into the top bins, straight into the top corner. The keeper leapt like a salmon across that goal mouth. He didn't have a chance. Yeah, no chance.
There's an angle from behind the goal at the northern end where you see the bend on the ball. And I turned around and I took my son yesterday, as you know, and he stood there with his hands on his head like, what on earth have I just watched? And there's a few people that have said it. Mark said it to us. Obviously, Mark comes and sees us quite often, as James did. Hello, James came and saw us yesterday. Mark said to me he kind of missed some of it because it was in the sun and the sun was in his eyes. But I think that it was a great strike. It's the second one that he scored like that this season. Not like that, obviously. The one at Leicester was very different. But by that point, job's done. 13 minutes in.
Yeah, with less than 20 minutes of the game, and I think to be honest with you, to sum up the game, that was it. That was the game. At that point, Saints goes, cool, we've done the job.
There was two more things that happened in the game.
There was Oxford's. So there was a bit of, I think it was a shit pass back to Taylor Harwood-Bellis.
It was Taylor Harwood-Bellis was trying to put it across to Jack Stevens, and Will Lancashire closes him down.
It was a shit pass back to Bellis.
It was, yes,
which puts him in trouble. He then tries to play it across to Stevens, and it gets intercepted. And this is always the risk of playing it across the back. It gets intercepted. I do not know how the fuck that striker didn't score that goal.
He had too long to think about it. He had way too long to think about it. It's the thing, isn't it? When you're down on your luck, you're down on your luck. And they've obviously been playing well. Will Lancashire's a player that I quite rate, actually. Anyone who's a football manager, what's the word? Somebody who plays football manager.
Connoisseur.
That's it. Thank you, connoisseur. Crikey, it's been a busy day, innit? Somebody who's a football manager connoisseur will know that you can sign him. He'd be great. And he's gone through. He's put it just wide of the post. And then, obviously, about 10 minutes later, we've had a chance where Ross Stewart's been fed the ball, he's hit it. And Tom Fellows.
I feel for the man at this point.
Oh, God. It's like they're conspiring for him not to score, isn't it?
Yeah, so after the Oxford chance, which chance of that's why you're going down, not a surprise. I can't believe he didn't at least get it on target. As Ash says, there's a chance happens. Stewart forces a save, I think I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Fellows comes in as the fastest person to react at a rate of knots and finally did something that I say they should do all the time. He just put his fucking laces through it. Maybe a little too hard. So I hit the crossbar, comes off the crossbar, bounces out, and I genuinely felt really sorry for him because he wants a goal, he needs a goal. There's a song about him scoring goals, which is super ironic because he hasn't got any. And he, yeah.
That was look. The game was done by then, and obviously he's in the chat. And I'm going to mention it because I want to embarrass him. But shout out to Matty McManus, one of our members, who in our Discord said, "Oh, I've missed the first goal. Was it good?" And I was like, "No, it was a tap in." And then the second one went in, and I was like, "That wasn't a tap in."
What was he doing?
Get there earlier, Matt. I'm assuming you're at work. Just leave earlier.
What
you know, he used to have such a sound manager as well.
So, yeah. And so that was it. Game done. Poll got open for man of the match, of course, in the stadium. Shay Charles won because actually he had a solid game. Let's be honest. Even without the goal, he had a solid game. He did play well. The goal just rounded it off, and I can't begrudge him from getting man of the match for that game on Saturday. To be honest with you. So what do the members' polls say, Ash?
I forgot.
But we tell these people if they can become members, they can get in members' polls.
I forgot.
I'm sorry, chat.
I'm sorry, members.
It's old age gets more memory loss. Here's the thing that's annoyed me though, right? You've put the plural in here. I haven't seen post yesterday, so I don't know if it's the same. But if we go back to the Norwich game on Wednesday, I got really fucking annoyed with the manager's comments post the game.
You know about Philip Clement?
Yeah. Parachute payments. I'm fucking bored of hearing people whinge about the fact that we get parachute payments. Got parachute payments because we went to the Premier League, you fucking mug. If you want parachute payments, go up to the Premier League. It's been this way for a long time. We're also now like 3/4 plus of the way through the season, even further through. And it's because I've got parachute payments. Fuck off. Also, it doesn't matter how many parachute payments you get. It doesn't matter if you get given 500 million quid every month. When Sports Republic are the fuckers that are buying your players, it doesn't really help you, to be fair.
Yeah, fair point.
The parachute payments argument, I just think is a nonsense argument. And then if you look at profit and loss for all clubs this season so far, Saints are the most profitable club in the league.
Yeah, I know.
So fuck off, dickhead.
Look, there was...
Also, didn't Norwich not too long ago come down from the Premier League?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Did they get parachute payments?
Yeah, they did,
Shut your cake, old dickhead.
There was a comment from Matt Bloomfield yesterday, the Oxford manager, who everyone would notice. Obviously, yesterday was Saints Foundation Day at St Mary's. Obviously, the Saints Foundation do a lot of.
You can
great
tell
work.
because of all the boards on the pitch.
Well. So, Oxford have a tactic they like to use, which is a long throw. And obviously, we put the boards out. Now, the rules are those boards need to be no more than they can't be any closer than 2 meters to the touchline. And Matt Bloomfield came out and said that he felt that those boards endangered the players because they weren't the crash matty type. They were the hard hoardings, etc. They passed regulations.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Garsty says, annoying when other teams just gone about extra money that a club supposedly gets. You get parachute payments because you've been in the Premier League and you get relegated, so you earn it. That's not owners coming in with billions and just spending money. It's a very different thing. That's why I don't have a problem with any club having parachute payments, but I always had a problem with Abramovich taking over Chelsea. Just saying. Very different, innit? Parachute payments is fair because everybody who gets relegated from the Premier League gets parachute payments. Rich owners coming and buying some shit club in Wales is a little bit more unfair because not every shit club in Wales can get bought by rich owners. Right?
Up Newport County. But, as Marcus said, the advertising hoardings was a nice bit of shithousery. I think Matt Bloomfield was probably more embarrassed about his performance of his players, to be fair, because he was just absolutely stupid to come out and say, comment, it was endangering the players, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't, mate. Your team didn't put any fight in. You had one chance that we gifted you. I mean, they had a bit of an early chance, to be fair, in the corner, which Perez sort of poured out, but that was it.
They looked really, really bad.
They looked like a team that are destined to go down.
And if I'm going to throw some more shade out there for just a brief moment, their fans were also shit.
Considering how many they took. But I will back, because I know some Oxford fans as well, I will absolutely give them some credit for going down in numbers, but the team gave them absolutely nothing to go on about.
Pretty sure Cardiff and Swansea have rich owners too. Yeah, I was talking about shit clubs in Wales.
Someone's watching us from Wisconsin in the US.
USA.
Good evening. Good morning.
Yeah, so, I mean, I kind of love the shithousery from the club for putting those little Saints Foundation boards down.
I just love the fact that we're doing shithousery for a
change. There's an image, there's a still image on Twitter of a man measuring the 2 meters to the pitch. I love it. I love the fact the club did that because we never have those boards out. Never.
Well, the last time we did it, incidentally, was the playoff semi-final at home to West Brom when they had to like to utilise a long throw, and we did it then.
I'm here for it. Right, there you go. Transfer news and rumours. Fuck all right now. There was some chat that I have seen about Peretz's clause being activated, and what I need to remind everyone is, and I saw this, Alfie House reminded everyone of this in another chat that I'm part of, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but it is worth mentioning. We can activate that clause. We can pay the 12 million euros, I think it is. It's 8 million quid, 12 million euros, I thought.
Well, that's a bit of a disparity in prices, but yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway,
some money.
We can activate that somewhere in the region of 10 million euros price point, right? We can do that. But he also has to accept the contract. He also has to want to be here. So there is every possibility we don't sign Peretz at the end of the season because we activate his option to buy and he says no, right? There's a possibility that could happen. So I just want people to be aware of that because if the club don't get him over the line, it might be that he goes, I want to go back to Bayern Munich, who currently haven't got a goalkeeper.
Having said that, as Will said, because Will's watching us from Barcelona, mate, we're massive, aren't we? Watch from Barcelona. Yeah. Everyone watches us. Even the club watch us. We work that out.
Yeah.
It's ironic that Peretz has had a worldie this week and Ramsdale he shipped 7 on Wednesday and then made an absolute howler for the first goal for Sunderland today.
When Newcastle got absolutely battered by Barcelona.
And then they lost at home to Sunderland today as well.
My God. Derby beat Birmingham. Borough drew with Blackburn. Ipswich and Millwall drew.
Are you okay? Blackburn. What's wrong with you?
Ipswich, I'm tired, mate. Ipswich and Millwall drew, which I think that's a bad result for us, but you think that's a good result for us.
I think it's a good result for us. I'll get onto that in a minute.
So Ipswich and Millwall are kind of level points. They're level points, aren't they?
Yes, they're level points, but
they're level
points.
Got a game in hand. I wanted one of them to win I'll be honest. And the reason why I want one of them win is because if we're 6 points behind one of them, 5 points behind one of them.
Oh, what now?
Yeah.
Now we're 6 points behind both of them.
We're 6 points behind both of them. So if one of them had lost and one of them had won, we'd have been 5 points behind one, and we'd have been fucking 9 points behind the other. Well, that means one of them's closer to win, right? That's how maths works, Ash.
Yes, but
so logically speaking, if say Millwall lost or Ipswich lost, that just kind of doesn't really matter. If one of them lost, right, we're 2 wins away from climbing above them, potentially. If they win one, lose one. But now, if they win one, lose one, we're level on points, and it's about goal difference.
So there's a few things. Firstly, I'm going to answer a question that people have been asking me, and I know it's not off topic, but it's to do with yesterday's game. The reason I thought yesterday's game was so slow in the second half is because I think the squad were fucked. They've played like Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. I think they were absolutely knackered, completely and utterly done. So for the players, it would have been a good idea to just to wind down and go, right, game's done, game's won. Yes, okay, it would have been nice if we went and got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. We didn't. 2-0 win, professional, job done, keep the momentum going. We don't have any score predictions to get chat to go in here, so I'm gonna ask chat this question now. So I want to know yes or no, guys. What do you think? Do you think we're still in the run for automatic promotion? Don't answer that yet. I want to know what chat think. And the reason why I thought that it was a good result yesterday is because yes, we could have potentially gained 3 points on one team, but instead we gained 2 points on 2 teams. We also still have to play Ipswich. Millwall are faltering. Middlesbrough are faltering. Hull are faltering. Wrexham, apologies, Gart, so you'll probably beat us now I said this, but Wrexham were dreadful, and they got battered by Sheffield United to a degree yesterday. Patrick Bamford missed a sitter.
He did miss an absolute sitter, to be fair.
So there's 7 games of the season left. Obviously, we also have an 8th game because, 10 games if you include the FA Cup semi-final and final.
So I categorically don't think we've got a chance of automatics.
No, right.
I think we're too far off it.
I'm going to make it very clear. I don't think we'll get automatics. But the thing is at the moment, we sit 8 points off the automatic promotion places. 8 points. Middlesbrough, if Ipswich win their game in hand, which would be at Fratton Park, so you would probably assume they're going to win that, would be 9 points. And we've still got to play Ipswich. If we sit here in 2 months' time having won 6 of the last 7 games, I think there's a strong chance that we're 4th, 3rd, or even 2nd.
So James says, beat Wrexham away in Derby, there's an outside chance. And I'm inclined to sort of agree with him. An outside chance, yes. I actually think Wrexham away is going to be a very difficult fixture.
I think it's going to be a lot harder than people think, because I think Wrexham...
I'm bantering with Garsty a lot. I love him. By the way, if you don't know, he supports my main business as well. Wonderful human being. And I banter with him a lot about football. I'm concerned about Wrexham away. That's the game that worries me the most.
The week that we come back after the international break is going to make or break our season.
Well, let's get into it. So anyway, Coventry. So that happened. Ipswich Millwall was a draw. Coventry battered Swansea. You've put to inch ever closer to promotion, and Hull beat Sheffield Wednesday. West Brom beat Bristol City to create a gap at the bottom, and Leicester missed a penalty as they drew 0-0 with Watford. That's important. That Leicester draw is important because we'll go on to it. We'll talk about it now, right? Skatewatch. I very nearly had sympathy, but I don't because they're all fuckers. So they lost 1-0 at home to Derby. Cool, Derby are flying. Not a massive surprise.
But they were absolutely dreadful.
They were fucking shit.
Were awful.
And there was their shots kind of ratio was quite high. The amount of shots they had was exceptionally high. But they were all crap. It was terrible. It wasn't good quality chances.
Were just dreadful. Yeah.
And they got beat. And similar happened yesterday, but they got beat worse.
I mean, they got beat more than worse.
Fucking QPR had 9 shots on goal and scored 6. And then Pompey had about 20 shots on goal and scored 1. Fucking hell.
There is a couple of great videos from the QPR fans showing that away end at full time yesterday. And let's say Pompey fans aren't happy. I'm surprised John Mousinho's not been sacked. If he stays in charge, there is a very real possibility. So what that leads to us now is that Sheffield Wednesday, obviously we know, are gone. Oxford have played 39, sit on 39. Leicester have played 39, sit on 39. That's the relegation zone. Pompey have played 38, sit on 40. but their game in hand obviously is at home against Ipswich.
Yep. Which you would expect Ipswich to win at the moment.
You would do, although worst thing, people remember last year when Pompey beat Leeds at home. West Brom played 39-43, Blackburn played 49-43, and I think it's probably those guys. Charlton played 39-48. I think they're probably safe.
Yeah.
Which is amazing considering Charlton were at one point they thought they were getting the playoffs. So, look, I don't think Oxford are going to have enough to survive this year. And I hate to say it because it's not always nice to see an underdog do well, but I don't think they're going to have enough to survive. So you're looking at Blackburn, West Brom, the Skates or Leicester are going to fill that third relegation place.
Yeah, and if Leicester had got that goal yesterday, they would have jumped above Pompey. Granted, Pompey had a game in hand, but they'd have jumped above Pompey, and that would have been great to have seen them in the bottom three. Just as we sneak into the playoffs, they sneak into the bottom three. That's a fucking fantastic week of football as far as I'm concerned. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. The Skates just about get away with not going in the relegation zone. They do have that game in hand against Ipswich. Come on, the fucking tractor boys. Hopefully they turn them over. It's hard, isn't it? It's a really tough one, actually. Because on the one hand, you want Ipswich to turn Pompey over so they're close to the relegation zone and because it's fucking Pompey. But on the other hand, Ipswich are above us. And if they don't turn them over and Pompey get a win, we've got more chance of capturing Ipswich.
But you love those.
Really tough one, isn't it?
You look for the last day of the season. You look for those games that potentially could be massive in the Championship. And I've just had a look. There's not many that are going to be, I think, a lot going on it. Wrexham versus Middlesbrough potentially. Pompey are at home to Birmingham on the last game of the season. But at Ewood Park on the last day of the season, Blackburn versus Leicester.
Oof. Interesting.
And for us, so we, and obviously we are going to do a season review. We're going to get together next week to talk about the running, etc. But for us, I think there's a lot riding on, like I said, that first week. We've got Wrexham. I'm almost in a place now where when we play Wrexham on the 7th, we need to go there and just not get beat. I'm not saying set up defensively, but just not get beat.
Talking about Wrexham away on the 7th, last week the club did release the tickets for Wrexham away on the 7th, and I was like, oh, I fancy that one, actually. I think I'd have that. I'd have a go. The first wave came out to season ticket holders who have 30-plus away games.
It's just the stadium's tiny, isn't it?
30-plus. And I was like, cool, won't be getting any of those then. Not going to Wrexham.
Ian can get you some.
Can he?
Yeah. He's not going. He's got 30 aways.
I think they're probably already sold out, mate, I'll be honest.
I probably are, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Ian, I wish you'd offered.
He did. He literally did.
Not to me, he didn't. I'd have heard it. But so Wrexham away is the next league game on the 7th of April. Thank you.
A week and a day before my birthday.
It is. It's one of those fixtures that I'm struggling to predict. Wrexham have got a tough run in. They've got a tough run in, Wrexham have.
Have they?
Yeah. Look at their last two games of the season.
I think they've got Coventry, haven't they?
Yeah.
Gartsy's going to be creaming himself. We're talking about Wrexham right now.
Well, they're our next opponents, aren't they? So
they have got. Well, no, they've got West Brom on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
We're away at West Brom. Then they've got us: Birmingham, Stoke, Oxford, Coventry, and who'd they finish with?
Middlesbrough.
Oh God, yeah, that is tough, isn't it? Ooh.
Hard running, isn't it? That's not a nice one, to be fair.
The only game that they've really got this kind of nothing on it is Stoke and Birmingham.
Ash, would it be your 40th this year?
No, it's his 40th this year.
Guys, can I ask, would you play full team versus Arsenal with Wrexham away a few days later? This is a real tough one. So obviously the Wrexham game has been moved. I think it was moved because of the cup fixture.
Yes, it was.
I'm right. Time to give Liam some abuse chat. No one cares about the FA Cup. I do, however, have a ticket for it. Well, I wasn't going to bother going, and then I was like, you go, and you're like, yeah. I spoke to Dad, I was like, are you going? Yeah. I spoke to Matt, are you going? Yeah. I was like, well, fucking, I'm not going to let you go and have beer without me, am I? So
I'm not going to have beer.
I'm frequently disappointed with him, chat. No. So I am actually. I've got a ticket for the Arsenal game, and everyone's going, oh, because in the quarterfinals against Arsenal. No, it's because all the guys are going and there's beer involved, so I'm going. That being said, this is literally exactly why I said I'd have been comfortable being knocked out by Fulham. Right now, granted, that would have fucked our unbeaten streak. They'd have just changed the wording and said unbeaten in the league, because that's what happens. It's all fucking media propaganda anyway. But this is exactly why. Do I care if we beat Arsenal in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup? No.
No, hang on. Let me jump in there. You don't care at the moment because we're not expected to. But if we do win, we'll both be giving it the fucking big on the day after.
Yeah, I mean, facts. But do I care if we win? No, not really. I'm not really bothered because I'd rather we. If you said to me now, right, and I genuinely mean this, right? You can pick one of these two. You can lose to Arsenal and beat Wrexham, guaranteed, or you can beat Arsenal, lose to Wrexham, guaranteed. Which one are you picking?
Obviously, a sensible person is going to be to beat Wrexham.
Right, exactly. My point. If someone offered you, I'd like to know what you think, chat. Option 1, you get a guaranteed loss versus Arsenal, guaranteed win versus Wrexham. Put a 1 in chat. Option 2, you get a guaranteed win versus Arsenal, a guaranteed loss versus Wrexham. Option 1 or 2, put a 1 or 2 in chat. And I'm genuinely curious as to what you're going to pick.
All on super chats.
I think it's all ones. Guaranteed loss versus Arsenal, guaranteed win versus Wrexham. I think it's all ones, but I'd love to know what you guys think.
There is a caveat here, though.
Okay.
And that is that I have an opinion, but if he puts a strong team out against Arsenal, and by some minor miracle, because it's Arsenal, we win, momentum just keeps building. Hence, just the title of the stream tonight. Momentum keeps building, keeps building.
Yeah,
even Becky agrees with you. That see, fucking hell, ones all around.
I thought it'd be ones.
Oh, Garcy, dick.
He's Welsh. They struggle. They struggle with ones and twos. So, I mean, it's pretty unanimous from chat, right? They all think the same. There's a world we win both games. I just can't see it, mate. I can't see it.
There's questions, and obviously we will preview the Arsenal game. We will preview the Arsenal game next week in detail. Obviously, Arsenal today have lost the League Cup final to Manchester City by picking. Hopefully, they pick that goalkeeper.
Who's suspended? Nice. Flynn Downs
and Koyu Matsky.
That's
suspended.
It. They're both suspended for the Arsenal game because it's weird. Yellow cards are weird in the cup versus the league.
Just weird all around now.
It's fucking strange.
Alison, you're Welsh too. No one's perfect. Don't worry. We can forgive something.
We can, yeah.
You're not a Wrexham fan, so don't make it worse, is it? So yeah. No, look, there's a few people that have obviously said that potentially we could get a bit of a massive comeback from Arsenal, etc., etc., etc. We have to remember we're on an international break now, so all of the Arsenal players are going to go off on the international teams. None of ours are. Well, some of ours are, but not all of ours are. Are we going to get a comeback from them? I'm not really sure, but they're away at Sporting on the Tuesday, where we're away at Wrexham. I don't see a world in which Arteta will still put a strong side out. Having said that, their second string is good enough to beat us.
Now, if the FA Cup is the only way they get the treble. They can't do a treble now because they lost today.
Yeah, but that also would put them in winning the Champions League, and they ain't going to do that. There's much better teams than them in the Champions League. And I know Yeston's in the chat. Hello, Yeston. I know you're an Arsenal fan. I don't mean to insult you, but there are better teams in the Champions League than Arsenal. And I don't think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League.
No?
I think Real Madrid, PSG, for a start, both of them are better.
Barcelona?
Of course, yeah.
They just turned over Newcastle 7-2.
Well, it's not hard though, is it? Newcastle where they are at the moment. Look, there's way around it, and there are. So it's Liam's older brother that taught him to hate Wales. Don't get me started. Honestly, I'm being nice to you, Aston. There are ways around it, and obviously we saw in the FA Cup last time we played Fulham that Nathan Wood came back in. He made a couple of changes. I expect him to do the same. I expect Leo Cienza would start the game because I think Cienza will flush in that. Just to make it clear, Garty, by the way, I go to Wales quite obviously. I love Wales. Clunpenny fan last year. I'm a fitness.
It's a fucking big ill.
Freak. It's a big ill. Yeah, it was a big ill. Took the kids off as well. But no, it's a tough game. But Mikel Arteta's going to be worried about that, and he's going to be. And they were 1,000 to 1, I think, with the bookies to do the quadruple. That's done. And Arsenal were okay in the first half today. They were just shit in the second half. And Kepa decided to drop one on the line. But they will still be focused on Champions League and League. I think they've won the league. I think they've done that. Having said that, Arsenal at the moment are just a meme. bottling it.
They are. I think they're gonna get rid of some of that meme this year because I think they'll win the league. I agree with you. I can't see a world in which they don't win the league now. I think you're probably right about the Champions League. I think that's probably too much for them to considering some of the other teams that are in it. I think Bayern are looking very, very good. At the moment.
Also think they're going to be in the semi-final because they've got Sporting Lisbon. I think they'll be
So I think that the only way they get a double is the league and the FA Cup. The only way they get the treble is if I added the Champions League into that. And so I don't actually see them going so weak in the FA Cup. It might be maybe Arteta looks at or Arsenal look at the Champions League and he goes, we're going to struggle with the Champions League, so we'll focus on the FA Cup. It's the quarterfinals. So
he'll put a strong team out. I would expect. If he's talking to me now, I would expect Kepa to start in goal, though. I would expect to see people like the fringe players that start on the bench today, as in terms of Calafiori and Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. And
every single one is a player welcome to our side.
Max down, well, obviously all of them, Max Downman, etc., etc. I expected to play a strong back four. I expect him to play again. Though, problem is all these players are going away on international duty, so we don't know. Bukayo Saka could get his leg snapped next week and don't play, although he was dreadful today. So it's just about waiting to see exactly where that goes. I've just seen it. I'm ignoring it for the minute. It's waiting to see where that ends up finishing from whatever prospect you want to have a look at it first. So where are Arsenal going to find themselves in the squad position? Because they gave a lot today.
What was it for you to do the intro?
30.
Oh, you greedy fuck.
21 at the moment. 21. 21.
My God.
There's 96 people. If just 9 people gifted one, I'd be doing the intro next week. Just saying.
Saints will beat Arsenal. We just have to believe. Look, it's the cup. It's a cup game. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. Our momentum's up. We're playing well. That being said, and I will get to Ian, I'll get to you, and I'll get to the people who've put financial things into the chat already. I'll get to you guys because you're all amazing human beings. Big shout out to Ian, by the way. I'll do it now, actually. Big shout out to Ian, by the way. He's a guy who sits behind us. He's a wonderful human being. He's just gifted 20 Saints Network members. Now, it costs $4.99 per membership, and he's gifted 20. So you can do the maths very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you figured it out?
100
quid.
Yeah.
You just dropped 100 quid. Oh, no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
£150. It's just strapped to because I asked her to do the intro for 2 weeks. You did say that, didn't you? Next week will be interesting as well, considering what might be happening.
Well, what I will say is, if you've been gifted a membership chat, get yourself into fucking hell. Get yourself into the Discord. It is free. There is a members section in the Discord as well. When I remember to do the what's it called, the members polls. It's getting really busy in the Discord now. In fact, there is going to be a time, probably on Wednesday, when me and Liam are going to have to sit down and talk about expanding the Discord even more because we need to. But yes, it looks like I'm now doing the intro for the next 2 weeks.
Probably longer now, right? Because yesterday, so Ian gifted another 10 to get us to what was 31. Smeg for Brain came in and gifted another one to get us to 32. That's after earlier Silence Falls gifted one for us. And then Yeston's come in and also gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, this is YouTube's monetization model. We don't put loads of adverts on, put some, but mostly we rely on fan funding, donations from people who watch the show via either being a member, gifting memberships, or super chatting. That's the best way to financially support us. It covers our costs. It doesn't quite yet cover our costs. We currently run the podcast at a loss, but it's fine because we enjoy it. If we can get to a point where it at least breaks even, I'm slightly less nervous about the whole thing. And I am looking at potentially bringing old big MLT back in at some point in the near future, and he costs an appearance fee, and it's more than a pie. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. 52 members on one show is quite good for us on the Saints Network. So thank you so much, you wonderful, wonderful human beings.
Keep going.
Greedy fuck. So we are now going to go into the international break. And you're right with momentum. Do you think this international break is going to help or kill our momentum? Because on the one hand, no game. On the other hand, chance to relax, rest, recharge, get Cienza back fit, potentially get Jay Robinson back fit, potentially get some other people back into the first team. How do you feel about it? Pro or con?
I fucking hate international breaks.
So do I. I agree.
I hate it. Look, we obviously know it's coming. Mark, I see a question about the Discord. If you click the link in the video description below, it's basically like, what would you say, like a chat room.
It's like a chat room, yeah.
Chat room, but just for all of us to talk about football, basically. Most of the regular names that you see in the group are in here. There's loads of people that talk about it. We've got people that are Wednesday fans, West Ham fans, Arsenal fans, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, get yourself into it. It's easy to sign up to. You'll work it out. If not, someone will help you.
Yeah.
International breaks, look, they do it for momentum, and obviously the problem is we're not obviously got a team of senior international players are travelling, so I know Carl Laren's going away with Canada, for example. It doesn't help our momentum, no. At the same time, like you said, it's actually a very nice time, because if we'd have not been in the FA Cup, even actually, do you know what, screw it, even as we were in the FA Cup, you go away for a couple of weeks and you come back, and suddenly when you come back after a couple of weeks, you've got 8 games, and those players now look at that and they know, right, 8 games to go, and they can't think we might be playing playoffs, might be playing more. There's 8 games. Focus on them, get them. Are we going to win every game? Not a fucking chance. In the league, I mean, a supercomputer predicts us to get 74 points, whatever it is. You know, if we don't beat Arsenal, hopefully we don't get embarrassed, but we don't get Arsenal, throw it away, crack on, move on. If we do beat Arsenal, great, we're all going to Wembley for a piss up. Yeah, happy days. But the focus always needs to be on the league, because we could beat Arsenal, and that's the thing, we could beat Arsenal.
It's football, isn't it?
But let's be honest, we're not going even if we did that, we're not going any further than that, are we?
Who knows?
That's the thing, though.
It's the cup.
So it's the cup, but priority needs to be league. Now, some of them we'll be looking at. Some of those teams out there, you look at your Birmingham and stuff like that. There are now. We said it yesterday. Oh, they're probably out the running for the playoffs. This time next year, they won't be. It's going to be top 8.
Yeah.
So to teams like us next year, we could have a bit of a shit sticky period.
We had a huge shit sticky period, and now we're here.
At Christmas, we had one at the start of the season. We had one at Christmas, and now here. If we don't have a sticky period between now and the end of the season, I think there's a strong, strong situation that we're going to be.
You said a long time ago. I should say this: there's always a team at the end of the season that surges into the playoffs, and I think it could be us.
I think there's a team that surged into the playoffs, but I didn't expect us to be where we were now. I thought we probably would have picked up a couple of losses and then eventually got there. I think we potentially would have squeezed in at 6. At the moment, I'm looking at it and thinking that we could finish 5th, 4th.
Well, you said second.
No, I didn't say we would finish second. I said, could we finish second?
Well, it's going a bit mad in chat right now, Ash. So Matthew Hedeker has gifted 5 more Saints Network memberships. Thank you so much, you're a legend.
Thanks, Matt. Love you.
Will has also become a member of the Academy all by himself. Thank you, you're a legend. We're on 58 new members. It's a nosebleed territory for us.
Record is 72.
Record is 72.
Sorry, 73.
73, okay. So
Garcia asked.
15 away from the record, 16 away from beating it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're amazing, though, people. Thank you so much. It's insane. 73 is the highest we've ever had. Silence Falls gifted $5 before we started. Hi guys, over in the US for work, so welcome from the other side of the pond. Great week for Saints. It was an incredible week for Saints.
Brilliant week.
6 points from 6 can only be described as great. The fact that, sorry Garsty, Wrexham also dropped points is amazing.
What I will say though is that on Saturday, Wednesday, the atmosphere seemed a bit flat at the game. But yesterday I thought it was a lot louder, and obviously we had over 30,000 people yesterday. It helps when the away fans actually bring some fans and try and give it a go. But
thank you, Mark, for the $2. He says they were a bit agricultural. Lol. Norwich reference. I love it.
What does he mean? You keep saying chin strapped.
Chin strapped is when you're fucking knackered.
Oh, okay. All
and your head is resting on your chin strap, which is on your part of your helmet. It's a military phrase. And Garsty says, Garsty's got an interesting question, chat. Oh, Yeston, welcome to the Academy. Thank you so much for becoming a member. You're a legend. We're on 59. 10 more, and it's a fancy number. And then Garsty, thank you for $2. He says, promotion or FA Cup?
We're not going to win the FA Cup.
But if you could do one or the other this season, what would you do?
FA Cup.
I would. I agree. But on the proviso that we then push hard for promotion next season. 2 reasons. One, the FA Cup is a cup. You get a trophy in your cabinet. That's quite nice. Second, it would work slightly nicer for us for promotion, for parachute payments, the thing that everyone hates us for.
Yeah.
So if we go up this season and we come straight back down again, we don't get any parachute payments. because of the way it stops when you go up and comes back down, stops when you go up, etc., etc., etc. We don't get any more parachute payments, right? So if we go up, we come back down, straight back down, no more parachute payments, no cushion. If we stay down a season, go up next season, come straight back down again, parachute payments resets, right? That's how it works. So there is a world where, for our finances, it could be better overall to not go up this season, to go up next season.
Well, Lucas just made a good point there, though. We don't play Ipswich until the midweek before the last games of the season. So it is a point where we probably will fall behind a bit and sit there. Look, I think we asked a question yesterday, right? I can't remember who asked it. Someone said to us, would you rather go up? Do you want to go up again? And I said yes. I think it was Dad that asked it. It might have been you that asked it, or Matty that asked it. I don't know. I think Matty was away with the fairies yesterday. And I said yes, and the reason why is I said that I hope to God my wife isn't watching this, but that day at Wembley, best day of my life by far.
Okay.
And I would give anything to have a day like that again. Granted, what came afterwards wasn't very pretty, but I would give anything for that again. I would like to think that we will be better for it in the long run. The last time a championship team got anywhere near an FA Cup final, I believe, chat correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was when Cardiff were in the final and the Skates beat them all those years ago when they bought the FA Cup and then went out of business, or pretty much not got off of it, but went out of business. Obviously, we've got to get past the big teams first. You've got to play them at some point. The only thing is that if we were playing at the Emirates, I'd be sat here right now going, no chance. But at the moment, I'm just sat there going,
there is a chance.
My heart says yes, my head says not a chance, but my heart is beating away.
Yeah.
And just going, because it's Arsenal, and Yeston said this earlier, he said, we're going to bottle the whole at 100%. And he's right, Arsenal have been seal bottlers, and to a degree I do want to see Mikel Arteta do well to a point. What really fucking gripes me is when the draw was made, everyone going, oh yeah, easy draw for Arsenal. I think,
there's no easy game in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
Well, I'll say that to Chelsea. To a team in Port Vale that are bottom of League One. And yeah, they'll turn up and they'll give it a good go for half an hour, 40 minutes, and they'll be knackered. And the way, then again, the way Liam Rossini has proven to be a bit of a fraud at Chelsea at the moment.
The thing is with going up as well, I'm really torn, right? I am really torn. On the one hand, any fan wants to see their team compete at the highest level. So if you go up and you can do a Sunderland, you're probably more inclined to say, yeah, I'd like to go up. If you go up and do a Saints for last season we were in the Premier League, you probably don't want to go up. There's other things as well to take into consideration. I saw an article recently from someone, I can't remember who it was, who said, for the love of God, don't bring VAR into the Championship because it will ruin it. And I agree. Like, going back to a season where what happens, when the ref blows his whistle, that's what happens, is fucking brilliant. Back to exciting football.
You just know something's going to happen at St Mary's in a couple of weeks.
The shit that is VAR, where you can't celebrate a goal just in case they find out offside, etc., etc. I fucking hate it. It is ruining football. It's so fucking dull. It ruins football for a number of occasions. You can't get excited when shit happens. You can't fly off your seat on the off chance that it gets disallowed for some weird thing that happened 14 phases before the goal went in. Right? And on top of which, it's made officials fucking dog shit. Because they're like, VAR will catch it. So they're fucking crap. They don't make any decisions anymore. They don't make a decision. They don't need to make a decision. Fucking camera will catch it. It's shit.
The worst part is that all the Championship referees are now assistant VAR, etc. So the referees that we've got that are coming up are the worser ones. Worser, is that a word? That word? Or the worser ones from the... Look, I don't like it, but VAR is going to come into the Championship at some point. I think it's 2028 they've earmarked it for. It's going to happen. They're going to bring it in.
I can't fucking stand it, Alan. I can't stand it. I honestly...
And for those of you who obviously used to follow us from the very start, we used to do a segment called VAR and Away, but it got to the point where we were picking up the same mistakes week in, week out. It got boring. It got so boring. But what we need to do at the moment is just not worry about any of that, because there is a chance that we sit here in about 3 weeks' time and we've absolutely completely fucking blown the season apart anyway.
Possible. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We have got some more memberships that are coming right then, Ash. So Yeston's come in and thrown 10 at us. He's flopped 10 members on your face. And then Mosshead's come in and done 5 more.
Legend.
That means, look over there. What's the number say?
75.
75 new members.
Oh, new record.
After Yeston became a Saints Network member all by himself as well. You people are insane. Thank you so much. 75 new members on the stream is incredible. We love you. You're amazing human beings.
And again, don't forget to get yourself in the Discord.
Yeah, and like it because it's free, you fuckers. We've got more members than likes right now.
Come on, guys. Click, 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 click.
Next week, there is an international break. As it stands, at this particular moment in time, Ash and I are still planning on doing a show, and we're planning on doing a show with a special guest. I won't say anything more than that right now because we don't know whether that will or won't come to fruition. That's the plan. If the special guest is unavailable, probably won't do a show because it's international break and no one fucking cares. If the guest is available, it'll be interesting to talk to them about the season, etc. Right? Cool. Just signed up, so it should be 76. Oh, that might be what the 75 was then. It's not showing up in here though. Oh, Garsty gifted one more as well. What a legend, 76. Yeah,
we love you anyway, Dom. Thank you. I think he's in the Discord anyway. Yes or no, maybe, who knows? There might be a show next week. Keep an eye on the socials. We'll let you know. If it gets planned in and the guest is happy, we'll announce it and tell you people. It's a possibility that we don't do one because it's international break week, and maybe he comes in on an actual match week. Who knows? I'm not sure, but that's the plan at the moment. You guys have been insane. You're amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for 76 now Saints Network members. It does help us. It does really fucking help us actually, because like I said, I run this out of my current business location, and I run the podcast at a loss just because we love it. And the other thing I want to say on that is specifically on Wednesday, but also a bit on Saturday, the amount of you guys that come and say hello and talk to us about the football and talk to us about the podcast and say that you enjoy the show and say that you watch it at home on your big TV with your partner. It's fucking incredible. I'm really grateful. It's always really humbling for both Ash and I. And when you get up close, you can see that his skin even looks older than mine. So please feel free to come and say hello to us when we're in and around the stadium. A lot of you are doing, and we very much appreciate it. I think that's everything. Is that everything? We good? Garcia, it's not Letizia.
It's not Letizia. He costs lots of money.
Yeah, it's not Letizia. It's someone better looking.
He costs more money than we've made on this show.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Get Doddy on. I'd love to get Jason Dodd on. Love to. Anyway, that's it for us. Obviously, it's international break, so there's nothing to really shout them on for. But we also had 2 games, 2 wins, 6 points. So, Ash, is there a message you want to give out there?
Yeah. Don't forget to like the stream. Get yourself in the Discord. Up the Saints.
Up the Saints. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.